Hi friends, it's Jenny and I'm getting ready to work on a layout using my November 2025 collection obsession kit. I have two more layouts in mind for this round, so I will get to working on those and then we'll put this collection away for next year. So I am using the Doodlebug Farmhouse collection. What I have here to use, I'm going to be using this doodle pop of the wagon with the pumpkins, and that's because from my picture, Josie is in a wagon. So I thought that would be perfect to include on this layout. So I've got one photo and everything that I have to work with. I've got puffy icons, mini icon stickers, I've got regular stickers, I've got the this and that sheet. My thought is I'm going to be matting, let's get this stuff out of the way. I'm going to be matting this green on the flower paper, just as I like to do those mats. This paper is called Farmhouse, and I'm going to use this tone-on-tone side. The other side I've used before was the Very Busy pattern, which I love. And the flower one is called Fall Bouquet. In the back of this is all the words. So I've got this. I'm going to layer this. Now, I'm kind of inspired by a sketch, but not inspired by a sketch. I know, makes no sense, right? I'm going to use this as a long strip. And then I am going to use part of this as a long strip. And then I'm going to use this and this for around my photo. And then I've got strips and tags and even this little piece of paper to use. So let me go ahead, and I've got my embellishments I just have to go get. I was doing some organizing, and I've got, you know, those photo boxes for your iris case. I have one that's just my Doodlebug stuff, so I'll go get that. I'll get started, I'll get things laid out, and I'll come back and show you what I'm thinking about. Hang tight. Alright friends, this is where I'm at. The only thing that is actually taped down right now is the background pieces. And then I was practicing, you know, how I'm going to build this. I am going to put this autumn tab up at the top, and I'm going to staple it here. And I think I'm going to put it on some foam tape, just to give some little bit of dimension here. And I love foam tape, so. Is it crazy? So guys, I have put together my winter Christmas kit. So what I'm going to be creating with the last few months of this year and into January. And it's huge. So I went through everything, and you know, like I've got some things that, you know, maybe can get one layout of, or you know, just a couple or something like that. And then I went through and just put them all. Have you seen those Doodlebug totes? So I've got a whole tote. I'm going to tilt you just a little bit down a little bit. And it is full. And then outside the tote, I've got an iris case full of things. I've got another container full of, come on, Flair. I've got my case of dies and some stamps. And let's think what else was in those bags. It's a ridiculous amount of stuff, and every time I put together a kit like this, it's always a reminder of the overconsumption of scrapbooking supply. Would it be consumption? It wouldn't be consumption because I'm not using it. I love it. There's a couple things that I've got in a little bit of a donate pile that I am going to get rid of. And the rest is still stuff I really like, want to use at some point. And I think what's most a little bit distressing about it is that I ordered 2 kits this year from Simple Stories. I got the Hard Candy Christmas and the winter one. And then I just want to make sure it looks straight, yeah. Did I order something else? Oh yes, wait until you see. I've got a little bit of a haul. But Prima has the most adorable collection. I just got that. So I've added 3 to my inventory this year. And granted, 3 would be more than enough to create with for the whole season, right? But I have a lot picked out. There's nothing in, honestly, with what I've picked out that if I don't use it, I want to get rid of it. Which is good, because like I said, I did kind of put that stuff to the side of what I'm kind of done with. But the rest is more if, you know, you use it or don't use it, or it'll just be put away for the next time. So this is kind of between the autumn and its fall, y'all. Those are kind of like my titles. I've got some tiny words that I'm going to put on here, but this I'm going to put to the left of the photo here. I have a box full of like winter Christmas photos because I think, you know, if you're new here, you may not know, but I did not scrapbooking. This is my granddaughter, so I have children that are older, but I didn't start scrapbooking till I had my 3rd, and he is 23, and by no means, I'm not a chronological scrapper. I just scrap the photos that I like. I will never ever run out of photos. I'm a big believer. I have way too many photos printed. And, you know, it's like you go back and you look at photos and you're like, oh, I love this. Or you wonder why. There was that time when it was just film, so you obviously had to get your photos printed. And, you know, you always got the doubles because isn't Grandma going to want one? Isn't Auntie going to want one? That type of thing. And, you know, so I have lots and lots of photos. I'm never worried about running out of photos. So hopefully over the season, I will be scrapping what's happening as well as what's happened. So let's get back to this one. So here, as you can see, I put this Lawn Fun twine in the tag. I am going to trim it a little bit. And then what I was thinking, so I want to use my wagon for sure. But then I also, for down here, was looking at, I like the little squirrel, and he's going to go on some foam tape. I liked, like something maybe on the, oh, see, it's got an acorn, so it should probably go straight down. And then maybe this one to curve around, or would it be the other one? Let's get this straight again. I think this needs to go down a little bit more, which is fine. So that'll be there. Okay, I'm going to pop up the side. Let's go ahead and bend up some leaves just a little bit, create a little bit of dimension. On that side. And then the squirrel will also go on to some dimension. And the reason I want to use the like little creatures and stuff is she is enamored by animals. It's the cutest little thing. I've got these pictures that I have to scrapbook of her with the dog and just her looking up and being like, oh my goodness, can you believe this? She has got the sweetest face. There. Should we just tuck him in, or should he go on foam himself? I don't know. Let's think about it before we put it down. And then I had thought about, no, definitely not. And I don't think I'm going to add another. Let's get that wagon, because that'll help a lot. Make me decide what I'm doing here. He's gonna be there. We've got the wagon here. And then I did like how that looked. Which one was that? Was it this one? I don't know. We'll wait. We'll wait on that. Let's leave it sit there for a minute. Okay, on this side, I really like this flower cart. Okay, now that's too much. Can I pull this up? Yes. Let's do this. I'm thinking I need to use one of the bigger ones just to do what I want to do. I'm sorry, this is my process. I thought I'd share it, but then I find myself with these awkward pauses or awkward what am I doing, what am I not doing, that type of thing. So, don't mean to be doing the either. Let me know what you think. If this is too much, I will go back to just going ahead and making it and then coming back and showing you what I made. But if you like to watch this process, let me know. It's a lot of decision making, a lot of moving things, a lot of blah, 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 blah. Okay, we wanted to put this down. And that's where we got to see where this is going to go. And I'm trying to make sure I don't have a trap space there, which is why you're seeing it like this. Let me pause you for a second because I just have this feeling that my hubby's going to knock on the door in a second. So let me pause you. Friends, I need to apologize. I forgot to turn back on the camera. I went to go turn it off to go take photos and realized it wasn't back on. So I'm so sorry. This is what I've come up with. A little bit different than I was looking at initially. So it's I apologize, you know, watching that process or whatever. If you remember, I had a farm cart I was going to put down here, but then I didn't like how things were lining up here. The sun in a birdhouse was going to go here, but then I had this idea of falling leaves on this side. So it's a hodgepodge. Anyway, I did use everything is obviously from the kit except for the Buttons Galore and More exclusive. I really just love using the sparklies, and I've got them several places around the layout. I ended up moving the wagon down here I used just that one flower and the little squirrels hiding behind it. I've got puffies in here, I've got epoxies in here, as well as just the paper ephemera. The three stickers from the this and that sheet, epoxy, but I ended up, so this, I felt like it was so heavy here, and when I tried to put something here, I didn't like how it lined up here. I tried to do something here, and I just wasn't feeling it, so dug back through my ephemera and found this and thought, that's perfect. It's not a pumpkin, it's not a turkey, it is just a beautiful sunflower. Oh, I should put some dots in there. I think I will. But this is my layout just to go ahead and use my fall kit. I have one more layout I have in mind to make with this. But let me show you, when I was at my friend Scylla's in New York, I had made this one with my fall kit. So I, of course, gutted the background. You see here I put two pieces of paper together for the bottom and the top. This is a photo of Josie and our dog. His name is Nixer, just looking out the door. And just like I was saying earlier, I've got some photos of her, just her sweet face lighting up when she's petting him. But this just has, you know, a tag. And I did get some Scrap and Happy Studio flair on this one. More falling leaves. I liked the puppy and the door. Figured that was perfect, representative. I used these nice black and white pumpkins because that's what was on the side of the door here. Just more flowers. And honestly, it was just a layout using my kit. I used my favorite twine here. I did find another spool of it, but after that, I cannot find it. But I'll keep on the lookout because it does last a while. If you see here, I did triple mat the layout, well, double mat the layout. I've got the orange here and then the plaid here, and then just a half and half with a border sticker down the middle. I again used one of the tabs and stapled it on there. And this kit is just so fun. I mean, it's Doodlebug. Ooh, sparkly. It's Doodlebug. What's not fun about Doodlebug, right? And like I said, I've got one more. I'm going to work on it. You'll probably see that this week as well because it's a Thanksgiving photo. So thank you so much. Again, I apologize that I don't have the whole process here. I promise. I've had two friends now show me about the whole voiceovers. I just have to try to do it. And I seem to be running out of time a little bit lately. So basically, when I get my chance to scrapbook or create, I don't have time to mess around with stuff. I just need to go ahead and do what I want to do. Today is a day of creating, but I've got some creating to do and some video, a small haul to share and things like that to have things up this week. And then the following week I'll have some stuff, and then we're going to be in Disney. I think I've mentioned that a time or two. I think so. But anyway, again, thank you so much for watching. I ask that you like, comment, subscribe. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.